All right, I'm getting ready to get some training in. I'm getting ready to start some general or some specific warm-ups. I already did some general warm-up for the day, lots of mobility work, foam rolling, stuff like that. Now, I have a Olympic weightlifting meet in North Carolina in a couple weeks, so I have to do a lot of weightlifting for my training. It's specific to my goals. But a lot of people inquire, what are the best power exercises? Do I need to do Olympic weightlifting or their derivatives to get more explosive for my sport? Now, you could benefit from it, but maybe not. You have to look at everything, your principles of training, okay? Yes, you have to be explosive to do Olympic lifting, and Olympic lifting can make you more explosive. So, it works both ways. But as far as principles of your training, you have to ask yourself, is what you're doing necessary? It may or may not be. What's necessary for you is going to be not necessary for me. Maybe not. So you just have to ask yourself those personal questions. Is what I'm doing necessary to achieve what I'm trying to achieve? Also, is what I'm doing sufficient? Is what you're doing right now sufficient to getting closer to your goals or helping you achieve what you're trying to achieve? And finally, is what you're doing safe? Okay? There's definitely ways to train that are going to enhance, your ability, your strength. It really comes down to enhancing your ability to move more weight, to move faster, to get more agile, your ability to, increase your stamina, whatever the case may be. But in particular, right now, I'm working on some Olympic weightlifting. So when people ask me about that, you have some thoughts to consider. Let's say you don't have the requisite flexibility to get into proper positions. And really, all exercise begins with getting into proper positions, which is going to keep you as safe as possible and, in turn, be more effective. Okay? So I'm doing some basic stretches here to enhance my rack position for my cleans. Okay? So you can see it's extremely demanding in the flexibility department in my shoulder girdle, in my elbows, in my wrists. I'm coming up here, I'm moving this stuff around. It's deep in my throat. It's extremely comfortable. Okay? Deep in my hands. I'm going to stretch a little bit more. Yeah, it really sucks. Okay? So as an athlete, say you're a football player, you're trying to get more explosive. Is doing that type of exercise with that extreme type of mobility and flexibility, the demands of weightlifting, is that something that's going to help you? Is it necessary? Probably not. You can keep things a lot simpler, much, much simpler, especially if it's in season. I already know, because I've played football for so many years, that the last thing you feel like doing is really strenuous activity in the gym after you've been running around the football field, things like that. That goes for baseball or anything else. Almost all sports, in my opinion, most sports require some level of explosiveness, agility, being able to move in multiple directions very quickly, forward, back, side to side, up, down, things like that. So yes, getting better at Olympic weightlifting is going to help that, and being better, more agile is going to help your Olympic weightlifting. So ask yourself, is it sufficient? Is it necessary? It's not necessary because there's other movements. If you can't get into the positions, then you're not very safe with the exercise, because an improper position in a squat, in a front squat, when you're pulling, if you're not flexible enough to hold the proper positions, it's not going to be very safe, and then it's not going to be very effective. Okay, your likelihood of getting hurt is going to be increased, things like that. Does that mean it's definitely going to hurt you? Maybe not. It depends on your training age. And what I mean by that is, how long have you been training seriously? Without breaks, things like that. Some people, they think 3 weeks or 3 months. You're still a beginner at that point. And a lot of those people, they want to jump into the newest trends and want to do all these things that they see other guys doing on the internet, YouTube, things like that. But if someone else has been doing it for 15, 20 years, they've already evolved past beginner and intermediate. Maybe they're advanced, maybe they're elite at their abilities. And if you're a beginner or intermediate, you have no business doing that. You have to go through the ranks, progress, purposefully, and progress with good progressions. Okay, work your way through, and be safe. Is it sufficient what you're doing? Are there other things that you can be doing that are safer? Is it necessary? So you're asking yourself, is doing these types of exercises, one-leg squats on kettlebells, do you really need to be doing pistols on kettlebells? What is that really helping you? You see people doing things on Bosu balls and all these things. Is that necessary? Ask yourself these things. Is it sufficient? Could there be something else that could be safer? Is there something else I need to be doing to help me along? So just because that's one way to achieve your goal, ask yourself, is there a better way? Always ask yourself these questions. Why you're doing what you're doing. And I guarantee it's going to enhance your training and cause you, to move along faster and save you from a lot of injuries that you get otherwise by forcing yourself to do, poor exercise for you at the time. I don't really believe that there's bad exercises. There's poor application to exercises, poor timing, and bad form, poor form. So if you can get all the things right, the right time in your training, the right time of year, the right time in your training age, you'll be a lot happier, you'll be a lot healthier, and they'll be a lot more effective. So keep things to only use things that are necessary, if they're sufficient, and if they're safe. Learn how to do things the right way, you'll be a lot better off.